Hello, people of the internet. Ian Altosaar, the Freedom Astrologer, once again here. And I'm doing another one of these mini lessons in astrology I've been doing for, I think this is the third video now. And now we're still on signs. Remember last time we talked about the elemental nature of the signs and the qualities that the signs have. Please go on and check out that video. But I will obviously bring those themes into this video as well a little bit. But if you want to get a longer look, go and take a look at that video I did with the signs and qualities and elements. Now in this video we're going to do our best to go into three of the first signs: Aries, Taurus and Gemini. And we're going to do I like to kind of dissect them into these pieces, like little pieces. Then it's not that much information all at once to you, and you can process it a little bit. And remember, if you want to read charts and if you want to learn astrology, there's so much information that you need to kind of know and understand and learn. It's actually a pretty good idea to take the first steps, quite gradually learn, build those foundations up, and get those foundations nice and strong there. And let's start with this video, and in the first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. If you haven't listened or watched the symbol video I did, I also did a video about the zodiacal wheel and the symbols on it. But this is the symbol of Aries. You can see it's right now in the first house, and we're using whole sign house system just to be, again, to reaffirm that. We'll bring in Placidus as well. Now Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, this is where spring starts, or kind of like, spring starts, nature starts, everything gets up to gear again after a long winter. The gears of nature and the world and the earth and us, in that ecosystem, the gears start turning. So what does that time look like? Actually, it's very fast. Things move fast. Things, snow melts fast if you're in these spheres on the planet. And Aries is a very fast moving energy, a very fast moving sign, and a very initiative sign, a very ambitious. Aries also wants to be number one. So this is one of the first things I do kind of say with Aries is, wherever Aries goes in our natal charts, this is where we tend to fight more with people. This is where we tend to be more ambitious. This is where we're kind of like, even if we're more maybe laid back in general in life, wherever house it goes, and we'll bring the houses in the next videos. But wherever house it goes, in that area of our lives, we are very ambitious. We're kind of, we tend to take more risk there, because Aries is a very risk taker kind of energy as well. It represents sports and war and speed, and the color red. And remember, guys, last time I spoke about the elements and the qualities. Aries is a fire sign, the fire element. So there is a lot of that bubbling fire, quickness, energy. How the, when you look at the fireplace, how the fire moves, it's very quick, it's very rapid. The movement of the fire there, and this is where Aries comes in. What did I want to say more about this? A fire sign from an elemental nature, but from a quality nature also a cardinal sign. So Aries is like a double whammy. Whenever there's a cardinal fire sign, it's all about action. It's all about quick now. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's get it moving. Let's compete. Let's do number one. Let's do it very quickly. And this is one of the reasons Aries also is very much, kind of can't really stand when things take a little bit longer. They want it very, very, very fast. They want it quick. They have almost no patience in life. Now, depending on other, obviously, influences in the natal chart, but in general, the Aries energy doesn't really have much patience there. And if you're there on the other side of the screen saying, oh, I have an Aries, but I do have a patience. Now, usually then there's mitigating influences that we're going to go into more and more in the future videos while we're doing this how to read your birth chart. But it's important to understand that we're talking right now about that general influence or the qualities of the signs, and this is Aries. So short spurts of energies, lot of energy, a lot of force, but during a short period of time. So this is also a bit of a place with Aries to understand that the energy that they have doesn't really last for a long time. So it's used in short spurts and short doses. It shouldn't be kind of used against them or put them down because of it. But this is how, if you have a very strong Aries, this is how you do it in life. Short spurts of a lot of action. Obviously, conflict, problem solving is Aries also. Aggression, speed. I think I mentioned speed. Stress, inflammations in the body is Aries as well. Competition, I think I mentioned adrenaline, sharp objects, and machinery, metals. This is also Aries, all Aries, and the color red. So good to maybe say that as well. So this is our anger. I think is one important thing with Aries as well. So hopefully this gives you an indication what the sign of Aries kind of represents. And let's go now onwards to the next one, which is Taurus. Now Taurus, the symbol of Taurus, I will show you as well. It's here. Hope you can see. And now, like I said, Aries was an element of fire and cardinal. Now Taurus is exactly the opposite. Taurus is the element of earth and the quality of fixed. So when Aries season, ends, things kind of start to dial down during, end of April, end of May. Things get stabilized. The nature blooms. Everything starts to go, turn more beautiful in our, natural world. But everything is kind of like, stabilized. There's not much urgency anymore. The nature isn't, changing that quickly anymore. It's more like a gradual progress, gradual being, or keeping the status quo. This is a lot about what the earth mixed with the fixed means. It's not about doing any crazy actions like in Aries time or in Aries season, but it's more about doing the things that are more tried and true, that we know, that keep us going, that keep the motor running, that keep the let's say, if we're looking at from a business point of view, that keep the business going. This is the time to kind of do these things, to do the work. Although it takes more time and it kind of like moves, the energy moves and things move more slowly, they're kind of tried and true, they're certain, they're grounded. The things we do are grounded, and this is very much what the Taurus energy is about. Slow moving, not taking much risks, very like gradual movement, gradual progress, constantly. Very hard to kind of move them from wherever they are when whatever it is that they're doing. And they're kind of always putting their kind of legs down and not moving around that quickly. And very, very certain. They're very kind of stubborn and certain. And the energy of Taurus is very stubborn and certain. They don't budge really that much. It represents beauty, nature, like I already mentioned. art, music, voice. The throat chakra is Taurus as well. And they also are very good at preserving. This is one of the biggest things with Taurus energy. Wherever Taurus goes in our natal chart, birth charts, this is where we like to preserve the things. This is like where we would like to keep the things as they are. And this is also a place where we are good judgment, or we can give good judgment of the material value of the things associated with the house. And we're going to talk about the houses later. But in general, Tauruses are very good. If you have a lot of Taurus energy in your birth chart, and if you see, for example, if you see a lot of influence, like in this case we have Moon and Uranus here. If you see a lot of symbols here in Taurus, usually means you're pretty good at knowing the worth of things. Now, all sorts of pleasures are also Taurus represented. Food, fine wine, touching, smelling, good scents. Everything that is enjoyable with the five senses is Taurus energy. This is one of the reasons Tauruses really love food, and they enjoy the hell out of food. What else did I want to say about the Taurus? Gradual process towards their goals, very natural, usually very nature oriented, or very kind of materialistic. Remember, I said earth and groundedness and fixed. So there are a lot of Tauruses are more to do with kind of material possession. Materialism is a very Taurusy kind of trait. So they like a lot of material things, material abundance, things they can touch, tangible things and beautiful things they can touch and enjoy. Diamonds, beauty industry also. I mentioned food, enjoyments. I think I mentioned. One of the things with Taurus energy is the family history and history in general, but the family history is also represented by Taurus, and this is quite an interesting one. So it is a, you remember, with Aries, it's a very aggressive, ambitious sign, so it takes a lot of action constantly. But it's a very masculine, the Aries energy. But now the Taurus energy is kind of more of a passive. It's not a pushover, obviously, but it is more of a passive. I take action much differently, much slower. This is why one of the reasons why it's associated more with the feminine qualities. So luxury items, art, I think I mentioned music, nature. Money, one of the big things that I forgot was obviously Taurus. If you already know a little bit more about astrology, Taurus, one of the things it does represent is our finances, financial markets, money in general. So this is the Taurus kind of energy. Yeah, I think that's it for Taurusy energy. And now we're moving into the next sign, which is Gemini. Gemini is right here. Hope you can. No, you can't. Oh, there it is. Gemini is represented by this little symbol right here. And now Gemini is a sign that has the quality of mutability. Remember, mutability of changes, of shifting, of, I would say, even like mostly quick changes in this case. And it has the element of air. Air is a lot to do again with quick shifting, quick changes. Being in the wind is a bit of a mutable quality in it of itself. So in Gemini's case, they are all over the place at times. They're here, they're there. They don't really, depending on other qualities in the chart, they don't commit to that much or that many things to very deep. They're more kind of like shallow in those commitments that they do. And the mutability here is, you know, the mutability is always to do with making things better. So remember how it goes. We start in the cardinal area. We start things here. We keep them working in the fixed signs here, and in the mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. Those who haven't looked or watched the video I did about the elements, go and watch that. We start things here, we continue them here, or kind of keep them working here in the fixed signs, and we go and change them in the mutable, let's say, energies. And air, again, is I think I already mentioned, so I will not repeat that part. It's a lot to do with changes, information, exchanging information, being here, being the middleman. Gemini is all about being the middleman. I know this, I know that, I know him, I know. It's a lot to do with, you know, communicating with a lot of people, with a lot of different people, and bringing those information and making those connections there. Total social butterflies when there's a lot of Gemini energy there. They're very curious, very curious about everything. They want to know a lot about a lot of things, but the downside of this Gemini energy is it's almost like they don't go too deep with it, and they're kind of like on a shallow level with it. Now, one of the important things with the Gemini, wherever Gemini goes in our charts or in our natal chart, this is one of the areas we are most often than not quite skilled. So this is what also Gemini represents, is skills, and more like left brain skills, and skills with the hands, and skills we use on a mundane, very kind of everyday level, like also computer skills, administrative skills, business skills, you know, PR, media, marketing. This is all about the Gemini energy. Also vehicles, you know, walking, taking walks, you know, these are all Gemini things. Hands, also important. It's a very kind of energy where there's a lot of exchange, like I mentioned, you know, exchange of information, but also exchange of goods. You know, a lot of business people have a lot of Gemini because there's a lot of sales, making sales, exchanging information, giving contacts. This is everything that is Gemini. Social media is very Gemini. Salesmen, newspapers, oh yes, media, television, everything. This is all Gemini. Short trips, also Gemini. And this is where we take short trips. What did I want to mention about this? And the Gemini also represents our close relatives and our everyday environment. Yep. And that's important as well. Let me see. Let me look at my notes to see if I wanted to say anything else about this. Phones. Oh yeah, phones. This is important. And I think this is a good thing to kind of draw this to an end. This video. Gemini is the mind. So wherever Gemini goes in the natal chart, this is where the person thinks about, first and foremost, thinks about this area of their lives a lot, and also talks and speaks and writes. This is all writing, speaking, communication. This is all Gemini. Now, if you're finding it hard to kind of understand some of the things I'm saying, don't worry. The minute I'm going to bring in the houses as well, the minute it's going to make more sense to you. But hopefully it makes, at least you know what Gemini represents now and what Taurus and also Aries represent. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video, where we're going to look at the next signs, which is Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Thanks again, and see you soon.